Hello, Brickdark here. Today I'm reviewing the B-Wing from 2014, which had 3 minifigures, 448 pieces, and a retail price of $50 back in the day. So here's the Grey Squadron pilot. This is a figure exclusive to this set. We've never seen another Grey Squadron pilot, and it's a very nice and unique figure. It's got just these very interesting tubing. It's unlike anything we've seen with like an X-Wing or Y-Wing pilot. Nice grey jumpsuit with a tan life support vest, as well as this, for the time, new helmet piece, which is in fact dual molded. You can see inside there, and I do like the printing on this with the olive coloring and even the microphone printed in. On one side, he does have a pink visor, which really does help differentiate him from other pilots. No other pilot has a pink visor. And on the other side, he's got a happier face without the visor. But I will say, they look like two completely different faces. I don't know why. They just don't really look the same. Maybe it's because of the pink eyebrows, because of the visor. But it's still a cool pilot nonetheless. Here's Ten Numb, who is another pilot you can use to pilot the B-Wing. He comes with a wrench, which is pretty standard, as well as a reprinted design of that A-Wing pilot helmet from the previous year. This time with new printing and a grey microphone. Microphone piece. He's got a red jumpsuit design with similar tubing, but not exactly the same as the Grey Squadron pilot. I'm not entirely sure if this torso print and leg print is exclusive. It may have appeared in a little planet set from a previous year. But on one side, he has a oxygen mask over his face, and on the other side, he does not have the oxygen mask over his face. And both faces are cool faces to have. And he's got the sparkles in his eyes on both sides. And previously they had him in white jumpsuit, which I think is an okay design, but I definitely prefer the red design. It keeps it consistent with other pilots. So here's General Aaron Kraken. He's an exclusive character to this set, never been reprinted, and I really do like it. I like getting officers in Lego, and this one is just a nice another one to add to the collection. You can see he's got the wrinkles and the cheekbones, as well as the headset. No alternate face. Some nice grey hair. And then some nice printing on the back of the torso, as well as just some pockets. The torso print's nothing too special. It may have appeared with some other figures, I'm not too sure. But it's still really nice to get just officer figures. I really do like collecting officer figures, especially for Rebels and Imperials, as they have the most interesting designs, I feel like. So it's a nice one to add to the collection, but not a super interesting character, in my opinion. So here she is, the most recent B-Wing we've gotten in Lego. We haven't gotten a microfighter, we haven't gotten a polybag version. This is the most recent B-Wing we've ever gotten in Lego. And I really do like it. It's a solid design. So starting up front on the cockpit, you can see it can rotate, as well as a couple of stickers around the cockpit. And that's because when you hold it, it allows for the thing to move, like it does in the movie, which is really nice. Got some cannons at the front. You can open up the cockpit, place either Ten Numb or the Grey Squadron pilot. Inside, they don't attach via any studs. They're just in there, and it's a nice snug fit. They're not going anywhere. There's another control panel. There's a bit which I feel like should have been like tiled off. There's these studs there, like they're not missing a piece. That's how it's supposed to be built, and that just looks kind of odd to me personally. But I do like how they get the shaping for the center bit with some of these flat pieces, as well as some of these angled bits. Some nice engine detailing and 4 engines at the back. And then you'll see there's a big orange circle sticker that's apparent on all sides. Now, this was the first year of spring-loaded shooters, so they weren't that well at hiding them, but You can have one here, push it down, it shoots. Pretty standard stuff. I prefer it without the spring-loaded shooters, personally, for display. But you do have some nice cannons on both sides of the B-wing. You can also open up the wings, so you can have it. I'm just going to move it up to here so you can see it looks pretty nice. It's very easy to swoosh by holding the engine part, and you can just move the wings back into the landing or hyperdrive position. There's some lights as well as some grills, and there's not too much else. It's a very solid B-wing design, one I don't really see they could really improve upon that much. There's not really any flaws I have with it besides this one part that looks like it should be tiled off, but it just isn't. And yeah, I don't really see what else they could improve with this. It feels, it's worth its weight. It feels like a $50 set. And there's not a lot I can see that they could improve. There's no flimsy parts. Like, everything on here is pretty damn sturdy. And I'm gonna just be playing with this. Now, one thing, this spring-loaded shooter, I had it loaded, and then I put the thing down, and it fired, so that's a small complaint. If I had to maybe say a suggestion, maybe they'd put the spring-loaded shooters on this wing instead of on these two, but that's just kind of a small thing. Honestly, yeah, this is a really solid B-wing design, but I cannot see them making that much better, because it's basically perfect as it is. The cockpit spins fine. There's no loose bits, like I said. Like, you can knock these cannons, they're not going anywhere. Same with these cannons over here. These, you can maybe put these out of alignment, but, like, that's an easy and simple fix. So, yeah, that's about it for the B-wing. There's no additional, like, transport thing or ladder, just like with the A-wing that I just reviewed. So that's about it for the build of the B-wing, but let's take a look at the instructions as always. The instructions for this are pretty damn big, but not that thick. There is a set checklist for the second half of 2014, as well as a minifigure checklist. I think the B-wing is the only one I own. Oh, I do own the AT-AT. I did want that Mos Eisley Cantina, but I'm not going to get it because of the new one. There's the Snow Speeder, which was made after 2013, so I'm obviously going to get it. The Ghost and the Phantom, I really want to get, but I'm holding out hope that they'll make like a $160 Ghost set sometime soon that fixes the figures. And then there's the Imperial Star Destroyer, which I do want to own someday, but that's in the far-off future. That's it for the instructions. So, honestly, I really do like this set as being the last B-wing we've gotten in LEGO form. I'm not mad with this. Unlike, say, Jango Fett Slave 1 from 2002, this feels modern. I don't feel there's a lot they could improve upon this to justify the price, which would probably now be at least $70 for this sub 500 pieces. It'd probably be at least $70 now, and I don't know how to feel about that. There's not a lot of complaints I have with this model, and I really do like it. They get the shaping down, you have the functionality of the B-wing being able to turn, which I know I didn't really show off that well, but it's a big model. Like, it might not be able to be that clear from the review, but it's a big model for $50, even if it uses less than 500 pieces. It uses some big pieces, and it's sturdy as well. It's not just panels that are gonna fall apart easily. It's sturdy, and it's big, and it's worth the $50 you would have paid for this back in 2014. The figure selection is good. I wouldn't say it's amazing. I mean, 3 exclusive figures is nice, but none of them are particularly super interesting. They're quite detailed, but none of them have arm printing or dual molded legs, which I know hadn't been introduced at the time, but still. They're nice figures. They're not appalling figures. They could have done a lot worse, but I don't personally find the figure selection that interesting in this set. It's probably the weakest part of the set, and it's still really good. The only other complaint I can see people potentially having is it's just kind of this gray mass. There's not really that much color aside from the orange dots. There's no, like, I feel like if they did this now, like there was the Resistance B-Wing from episode 9, which had like a tan color scheme, like a rusted color scheme, and I think that could work well as a more interesting color scheme. But for what it's worth, this is a really good B-Wing. And if you want to complete the fleet, like if you have an A-Wing, a Y-Wing, and an X-Wing, and all you need is a B-Wing, I think this one is definitely worth it to pay the extra money on eBay secondhand. It's definitely worth it. It's not like you're paying for like the 2002 Jango Fett's Slave 1, which is obviously going to have dated building techniques and it's not going to be as sturdy. This feels sturdy and it feels like modern. It feels like it has the modern technology and design behind it, and I can't really see them improving upon it that much if they make a new B-Wing, which hopefully they do. Granted, it's probably going to be $70 at least for this, which I think is fine at $50. $60 would have been pushing it. 70 is a bit pricey for this model. Like, I know I said it's big, but it's not $70 big. But overall, I would definitely give this a 9 out of 10. Another small complaint, the spring-loaded shooters are a bit too obvious, but then again, this was the first year of spring-loaded shooters, so it's passable. They didn't really have a good idea on how to hide spring-loaded shooters well and how to do them well. Now, if they did it, they would obviously have a much better idea. So, yeah, I would definitely recommend this if you want to complete the fleet and have a good B-Wing, not one from like 2002 or 2006. A good, solid B-Wing. This is definitely the set for you. It's a good model. I think the B-Wing is a cool and underused ship in Star Wars. I think we should see it more often. And I definitely do recommend this set if you like the B-Wing model and are willing to pay more on eBay. Beyond that, though, that's it for this review. See you guys later. Peace.